Okay, and we are back, everybody, hanging out, having fun, and we're here to answer your questions. If you missed the first part of our show, we have Nick Smith with JB&A. He showed us the Sling Studio HD. Is that what it's called, the Sling Studio HD?
Just Sling Studio is all they got on the box.
Sling Studio, and this is probably a revolutionary little wireless studio for $1,000. And it's like $300 for a wireless HDMI encoder. You can put it on a PTZ Optics camera, GoPro, whatever you need to do, and it's all wireless. Looks like Soren is chiming in here and saying the wireless is about 40 meters, so 120 feet. Cool.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
Really cool stuff. I got a new lower third showing our approved dealers, just to give our dealers some love. We're a very dealer-friendly company, and we have our Q3 partner webinar coming up in just a few weeks. So you can go to ptzoptics.com/Q3 to sign up for that webinar. And the last thing I just wanted to mention, I know we talked about this, but the 2017 World Studio Tour. We're getting really excited about ramping this up. You can get on our World Studio Tour map, where we actually, go ahead and put your studio's on here, Nick. There's your JB&A studio tour.
In there?
You're on there. And in fact, why don't we go ahead and, if you could,
wait,
can we just?
No, you don't. Which one do you have? It looks like you got San Rafael. I'm in Sacramento. I got to give you the address for ours.
Yeah, so send me the Sacramento address.
Yeah,
we'll put them both on there for you. And it reminded me. Look what George is saying. Nick's cool. You got him in the back of a lot of cool stuff.
You got to bring him back.
Oh, you got to bring him back. George
yeah, you bring cool toys.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George.
Toys.
We're just scratching the surface of the cool toy shop we got up here.
Nice.
Can you give us a little studio tour?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's. So. We're just everybody bear with and please forgive the mess. It's a work in progress. We're just getting the workflow down right now, and then we're gonna clean it up and make some changes. But yeah, let's. So I'm gonna jump out wide here. What camera am I on right now? No, let's switch cameras. So nope, wrong camera. Sorry. All right, we're gonna go a little wide here. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, so we're running a JVC camera. For one of our fixed cameras, and that's going to get replaced by another PTZ, which is out with a demo with a client right now. We have got a TriCaster set up in a rack back here. You can probably hear it whirring away. It's not staying in here. It's going to leave the room eventually. We're going to get it into a closet where the main control room is going to be, but we're just running a little mini SDI. Notice I've got an Ensemble Designs box right above it. That is doing some SDI to HDMI conversion and frame syncing for the SDI, so we can hit the PTZ camera native into the TriCaster. I got a little network switch sitting there, and then a monitor and keyboard, so we can go. We have our in another rack. We've got our recording. We got a Studio Network Solutions Evo recording all feeds from our broadcasts, going that way. And then, of course, to fix some of the audio issues, we've done a lot of sound treatment. Now, everybody's going to laugh at this next part, but this is actually a bedroom in an apartment above our office. Oh, did I hit I hit the range of what I can go on that camera. So let's jump over to this one, and I'm going to go really wide here for a second. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. So there is actually, everybody say hi to JT.
Hey, JT.
There is the big white box on the right is actually a Murphy bed. So this doubles as a bedroom. And so I fought to have it done as a Murphy bed so that I could at least keep the bed out of the shots. So it folds up on the wall. And when any of my sales guys or engineers come from out of town, they can stay here in one of the two bedrooms in the apartment.
There you go.
And this apartment is directly above our secondary sales office. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, it's just so that's our, it's a very small little room, to be perfectly honest, but it's a lot of fun. Let me see, I think I've got
I'd like to almost,
thanks for sharing.
I'd almost like to quickly do it, just to not spend a whole lot of time on it, but let's just go ahead and, so here's our studio. I know you've seen it.
It's all about making it work
with
the space you have, and that's kind of what we've done here, and that's what you've done.
We've got a project down here. We've got one rack that's got all the SDI cables coming in. That's our tally light system there. Tally lights are so nice when you're doing this stuff. That's our Tally light system. It's all over 3.5 cabling. You can't see much of the rack there, but there's HDMI transmitters and all the networking cables. And then a projector that I look at. Come on. There we go. So I'm looking at a projector the whole time. There's another 70-inch touchscreen that we hardly ever use, but Tess uses it for a monitor. And then our little broadcast nook that sometimes Tess and I will both sit over there. But for the Friday show, I use this giant green screen here. And just a bunch of cameras on these walls here. And it's a little bit of a mess, but you can't tell unless... Unless you're... Oh, and actually, this is that last shot I want to show. So this is... Nick, so that's a camera... can you tell me what that's doing?
That is our PTZ camera, or one of our PTZ optics cams. And it is set up to do... Oh, here, let me get... I fire off a preset here. That one is our overhead cam. So that is this shot right here, which gives us over the top of the table, so I can do some close-ups on gear and kind of get nice tight shots there on some of the toys. Because our goal up here is to start doing a lot more product reviews on technology, how-tos on how to use it, and so that's what this shot is for us. So that is our camera. It's mounted on the pole. I need to change it and hang it vertical. Right now it's horizontal, so it skews some of my shots. But it's my favorite camera of all because it gets me these wonderful over-the-top shots, which is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Super
Thanks
cool.
for sharing.
Well, I don't want to forget about our giveaway. We always keep waiting too long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull our giveaway. Someone's gonna win. What are they gonna win, Tess?
The swag bag.
The swag bag.
Just some cool PTZ optics gear. Next week we're doing the big giveaway.
Oh my God, I didn't even mention that. We're giving away a camera next week.
We're giving away a Z Cam.
Alan
Schaefer. Remember, you have to be present in the chat to claim your prize.
Claim the prize. So that's cool. Yeah, we're giving away a PTZ Optics Z-Cam, which we've been using so much more of. We've got 2 of them installed now. Let me just show this one last shot here. So from this shot, you can see above Tess there's a Z-Cam, and you can't see the Tally light above it. But from this shot, you can see the Z-Cam on the shelf there, and there is a Tally light right to the right of it. So if you switch, see that Tally light coming off and on, Nick? Can you see that?
Yep.
So there's the Tally lights have been so awesome. And then this shot might actually be able to show it just a little better. But these Z-Cams have allowed, and they're only $4.99, and they've got a wide angle, 122-degree field of view. So we can just put I mean, it's just up close and personal. You can bring things up like I can bring like a cable and put it like right in front of the lens, and it works great. So,
and Paul, that's got a C-mount on it on the lensing, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so there's options there. That's very cool. And using tallylights.com for what are you using there for the tallies?
Yeah, Tally-lights. And you can see I even have the IP address taped to the top of the camera. That's something I'm starting to do now. Because everything's on the network. I mean, we just ran out of IP addresses, all 255 of them.
Oh,
there's just too
many. You have a few cameras on your network.
Got a lot of cameras on the network, but a lot of cell phones
the tech
and
guys
computers.
are always using them for testing and everything.
Oh, and I just panned my main camera.
Do you want to cover some of the questions, Paul?
Yeah, let's jump into the questions. Yes.
Okay, let's go over the questions. Dan's asking, what's the name of that GoPro PowerSync device again?
Yeah, I feel like we cut that off a little short, Nick. Do you want to give a little more time to that?
Yeah, sure. So this is a company called Timecode Systems. They're based out of the UK with some offices in Irvine, California. It's called the Pulse is the main unit, which is the brain. Here we can jump in and take a look at it a little bit closer. So this is the Pulse. The Pulse has an Wi-Fi built into it. So all these units synchronize right to this box, and then you can connect to existing network or do network loop through on it. Notice again, we get USB for charging. This has got a battery pack in it as well as these. So once they're charged, you can go out in the field and not ever have to worry about running out of power. You've got timecode and timecode sync and black sync in inputs on this. or this can self-generate that. So that all your devices downstream get it. So not only will this, synchronize your GoPros, turn them on, turn them off, start record, stop record, but you can sync timecode and Blackburst to other third-party cameras like JVCs, Panasonic, Sony's, that type, and get those linked into the same process. Now, of course, with those cameras, you don't get on and off and you'll start, stop, record, but you at least have them all on the same sync. So if you're doing a mixed environment with GoPros and other cameras, this is a must-have. And I actually had a client, they were doing an event, and the event, they couldn't get into the building, so they had to turn their GoPros on, let them run all day long. And the reality is they were only going to get about 5 minutes of footage, but they had to sift through 7 hours of footage to find the 5 minutes. Well, with these little guys, they could actually just turn them on 2 minutes before the people walked down the red carpet, hit record, turn them off, and they got their shots, and they didn't waste battery or SD card time. So it's a very valuable little tool. Notice it's got a ton of quarter 20s and other mounts for it, so you can mount this directly to the top of a camera or a rack. It's got its own antenna here for the Wi-Fi. It's got a front panel display. There we go. That allows you to see whether it's in sync, who it's talking to. So when I fire these bad boys up, we actually get the display, and in a second it's going to say, hey, I am synced to this unit and ready to go. And so once it's all set up, then you have a simple web-based or iPad GUI or Android GUI. It's just an IP address that you log into. You have full access. You can name your GoPros. And again, you can group them up. So one button turns them all on, turns them all off, sets recording. It's just I think it's a fun toy. It's really, and it's really going to make utilizing GoPros in live events, live environments way easier than ever before.
Very cool. Any other questions that we had?
Somebody asked just the name of that one more time. Is it B-Pulse?
Timecode Systems is the manufacturer. The Pulse is the primary brain. The little modules that sit on the back are the SyncBack Pros. And then there is a brand new module that just got released that looks like this, but connects to your other, looks like this, but connects to your other cameras that are non-GoPro cameras.
Great.
Cool.
Let's see.
I see Tom is here. Tom Sinclair saying he'll be unboxing a 20X SDI Gen 2 at noon. I wonder,
Woohoo!
It's already past noon.
Gary's
so
asking how do we
week.
pair the remotes with our cameras.
Oh,
so
that's
they
a
don't
good question.
control all
And
the cameras
Nick,
at
I'd
the
love
same
to
time.
task you to this one if you think you can get it.
Oh, I went through this just recently.
Because you obviously
Doing
did it because
pairing.
you were using multiple cameras.
Yeah. It was holding down. Hold on. Let's switch. Okay, let me see if I can remember. It was F4 plus the camera. No, wait. It was 3 buttons. Hold on. F4, star, and the camera button. Am I correct?
I believe it's. Honestly, I don't even remember, but so I feel bad putting you on the spot and trying to pretend
It's
like.
the
Isn't it
F1,
star-
F2, F3, F4.
Yeah, but I thought it was like star
All
pound.
the cameras have to be.
I thought it was like star pound.
Oh
F1.
my God, how embarrassing is that?
We have it in our database. I feel bad.
It's in the manual. I had to dig it up, and it took me a couple tries because my fingers were too fat to get all the buttons at once.
It might just be
And so
star
it,
F1, camera 1, star F2,
Yeah,
camera 2.
it's either star pound and then F1, F2, F3, F4, or
Okay,
star.
Hold on,
F1.
I have the manual nearby. JT, throw me the manual.
Yeah,
It's
because
right
we're
there on
going to
top
get
of
in
the
trouble
network
for
screen.
this.
Oh, Tom's going to
Yeah.
be doing the unboxing at noon on Streamfest. Oh, I'm definitely tuning in for that. Streamfest is a
If all else
live
fails,
stream
read
festival.
the manual.
That's right. How many cameras does the Sling support the Sling Studio? How many cameras can
Star
you use with the
pound
Sling
and then the F key.
So I was right.
Star, pound,
Yep.
And then
Star
whichever
you
one.
were
I want.
right.
Read F key.
Star,
Yeah.
pound,
Now,
FP.
something I learned the hard way is unplug. If you have more than one camera right next to each other, unplug the one you don't want to readdress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I kept readdressing the same cameras. That was a mistake. Live and
Nick,
learn,
how many
right?
cameras does the Sling Studio support?
So you can do 4 simultaneously, but you can have up to 10 modules connected to one system. But you can
Okay.
only bring in, the GUI itself gives you 4 previews plus program and preview. So 4 camera ISOs plus program and preview. And that's all you get. And then you have to swap additional modules to say, okay, I want to kill this one, bring in the other, and kind of go down that path. And then that also goes to the recording, because you can ISO record all 4 of those, plus program and preview to the SD card or to an external drive.
Shelby Smith is making a very funny video game joke, saying up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start.
Have to.
Okay, so and that's Shelby. So hey, Shelby, all I got to say is, whoop, wrong one. Thank you for these little guys. So this is Shelby right here, guys.
Oh, something happened to your video feed there. Froze.
Do you want to do the giveaway? Because nobody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and roll a new giveaway as we. Let's go ahead and pull a new winner. You still there, Nick?
I am. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, your video froze, but I can hear you. Oh, yeah, George!
No, I was.
George, you have
George.
won. George is usually here. George I. George I or George
You've
1.
won PTZ Optics swag.
Congratulations, George. You've won, and you've been active on the chat and in the user group, so thank you. When you get your shirt, post it in the user group. And your sunglasses.
Yeah, post a pic. If you do get swag gear, I know I have to send Selesky, if you're watching, I have to send you your swag bag
Selesky,
too.
you have to claim your prize.
No, that's
so
on
Paul,
my
so
end. I just didn't send
Shelby is one of the
There you
brainchildren behind this and the Talon.
Yes.
So Shelby, thank you for sending that gear over to us so we could play with it and test it.
Yeah, so we've had Shelby on the show, and Nick just kicked the plug out. Happens to me all the time.
I did. I pulled the power.
Now, do these devices support Linux?
This little USB hub does support Linux. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a list of products, Zoom and obviously vMix and Skype for Business. There's a whole host of products. They have a nice list on their website in the docs, and they have an SDI version as well, which is pretty cool. So if you want to come in native SDI right to the into your computer, you can do that. It's all USB 3, so you don't have to deal with any Thunderbolt issues. It's clean.
Cool. For Linux, take a look at Open Broadcaster software, says Giles. OBS now has a plugin for NDI. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't they? That makes a lot of sense.
Well, I think somebody hacked it together, but yeah. So now that was a big one. It was a big win for New Tech. What else? So yeah, I mean, you brought a lot of goodies today. Thank you so much for that. The Sling Studio.
Hey, no, it's my pleasure. And we're launching a show here in the next couple of weeks where we're going to be doing more in-depth reviews on these products. We're going to be lighting them up, plugging them in. So stay tuned to the JB&A. It's basically the JB&A YouTube link, and we'll be pushing on Facebook and a couple other places. There's still some infighting over the name right now. We want to call it the Jam Session, which is just a minute with JB&A, so that people can take just a couple minutes to learn something new. And then we'll do a longer show as well that's going to be more inclusive, highlights
fun.
for things that we're doing and launching. But yeah. So just stay tuned to YouTube. We'll be blasting it out to the channel, and I hope you guys have me on again, and vice versa. I'd love to have you all on our show here in the coming weeks.
Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us again. And we will have you on again. You're always fun. And you brought cool tech
anytime.
here. Our audience loves that.
Thank you. We love tech here.
The only other thing I would mention is that we are going to have our studio tour coming up soon. Your studio already looks great. So, that was a good studio tour if you ask me. But you're adding a heck of a lot more stuff.
We're adding more. We're going to be moving gear into a control room that's going to be external to here, so the engineering crew can yell at each other off air. And it's only going to get better. I got to do some more tweaks with the lighting too, because I got this weird halo that shows up on my head. Apparently, somebody told me it's because I'm bald, but I think there's a way to fix that.
Because I want to have you on for the studio tour when it's fully done. I think that'll be really fun.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
It's always such an informative time with you, Nick. So thank you so much. I guess that's the show.
That's right. We'll
Thanks
see you
for
next
having me.
week.
Bye, everybody.
I will see you all soon.
And that's all, folks. We appreciate your participation in the chat room and can't wait to host our next informative Q&A session. Your questions drive the conversation forward for live streaming professionals around the world. Until next time, happy streaming!
Oh. Not that one.
Hate it when that happens.
Quick show. That's like what we're supposed to be. It was supposed to be 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we did it perfect, pretty much.
We pulled it off.
We pulled it off, Nick. Very informative, interesting. Not too. We didn't deep dive too much. We did just enough to kind of.
It's not overwhelming, but not,
And that's going to be the core of our. So the jam sessions we're going to do. It's going to be a 1 minute overview of if you got 1 minute to